बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
On the show tonight, the fraud and the filth that the CJP was all about. The fraud and the filth of the CJP. At 9 o'clock tonight, why the foreign hand has been totally exposed, why the Tukre gang, the global conspiracy is out, and Greta Thunberg has turned out foreigners are leading the CJP. Ladies and gentlemen, the frauds and the fabricators, they said that this was about the students. It was not. They said we must become very serious because for us, this is not about having a party. For us, it is not a party. They said it is about the students who had committed suicide. But ladies and gentlemen, a video has now emerged where there has been a very lavish 5-7-star party sponsored by someone where they are saying we will party all night, and they are dancing away, having a whale of a time, and visuals of the after party are being shown, while on the ground people have seen that the CJP goon leadership has thrown the pictures of the students they were using as a prop to have their party. I'll show you both. First, I'll show you the party and some audio from it, please. On the ground, ladies and gentlemen, they threw away all the pictures of the 20 students who committed suicide. The point here is tonight that there has been so much filth, so much dirt, such terrible language. I want to show you another video of the kind of language that these filthy CJP types have been using.
मेरे को मिल जाए अम्मा चोंगा माँ की मोदी की उस लौड़े के अंदर से उठ जाओ भाई, उठ जाओ प्लीज, हम भीख मांग रहे भाई, उठ जाओ, निकल जाओ, इस लौड़े के नीचे से निकल जाओ, बोस और जो घुसा हुआ है मेलोडी की अंदर निकल जाओ, उसके बाहर से बहन के
So, if you've been supporting the CJP, perhaps you are ashamed of yourself, and you should be, if you did it deliberately. If you were misled, consider what you did. And even if your heart, you have a lot of bile for Modi and you hate the BJP, I really wonder how you manage to mislead yourself with this kind of disgusting machinery of the CJP. Dear viewers, my next video is about the shameless way in which our forces were abused. Now, all of you must remember this, that while the CJP was abusing and carrying out a rave party in Jantar Mantar, I have some visuals of that also, because there was obviously a high level of some substance abuse, which is why they were in that intoxicated form. There are beer bottles which have been found, alcohol bottles which have been found, And all this about, 2 or 3 people taking some plastic and cleaning up the area is all rubbish. It's real content. 60 metric tons of garbage were left behind by Dipke's goons. And they've just gone away after that, and they are going and meeting Congress leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, my next video is about the shameless way in which our forces are being attacked, beaten, and abused. Please remember, while all of this was going on, our forces were fighting terrorists in Anantnag, in Kashmir, and on the borders of this country. Please hear this.
टीयर गैस ने मार ली भाई हमारी। मेरा पूरा मुंह जल रहा है, इधर इधर ये सारी चीजें जल रही है यार। दिल्ली पुलिस, बीजेपी, फक इंडियन आर्मी।
ये लोग लाठी अपनी बीवियों को, अपनी बहनों को पास सुलाते हैं, तभी इनके बच्चों को एग्जाम में पास किया जाता है।
टीयर गैस ने मार ली भाई हमारी।
Dear viewers, largely, therefore, what was this all about? What was this last 5-6 days of madness? It was not about the students. If it was about the students, the party all-night expensive parties would not be going on. I would also like to ask Abhijit Dipke, who sponsored the crores of rupees on his education in Boston. It's very, very expensive. Students can't go. 99% of the people of this country cannot afford to spend even 6 months in the United States of America. Who was sponsoring who gave the crores of rupees to Abhijit Dipke to sponsor him? I'd also like to know whether another one of these CJP leaders is actually still a member of the Aam Aadmi Party, as we're holding a party position in the AAP unit in Rajasthan. These things are now beginning to come out. Answers are required. Now, besides the ruffians, the hooligans, there were also the reel makers. Largely, this was for reel content. There were 2 kinds of reels which were made. One, there were 3 corporate marketing agencies which were offering between 45 to 65,000 per video and per post. And the others were people who just came out to get a few likes. I'd like to play a clip of the reel makers who were claiming that they were students. Now, if you want to pretend to be asleep, continue to pretend to be asleep, continue to pretend to be misled. But for God's sake, realize that there was not a single student at this CJP protest. See this.
भाई ढोल लेके आ गए हैं, उधर डीजे बजा रखा है, इधर ढोल पे नाच रहे हैं। ये बिल्कुल अनसीरियस क्राउड है। मेरा कैमरामैन भी गिर गया। सरदार भाई दूसरा पैर तुड़वाएंगे ये। तो ये लोग भाई, ये लोग इस्तीफा मांगने के लिए आए हैं। ये लोग देख लीजिए, क्या बोल लूं, मेरे पास कुछ शब्द नहीं है। भाई ढोल लेके आ गए हैं, उधर डीजे बजा रखा है, इधर ढोल पे नाच रहे हैं।
Besides which, there are also reports that there was a lot of substance abuse, and people who went into high levels of intoxication and were out of control were carrying out sexual perversions. I want to show you a 10-second video of the kind of stuff which you need to see. These are not students. How are these students? For God's sake, wake up. If you've been misled, wake up. If you've just gone with this because you have a little bit of an anti-BJP instinct, I ask you, hand over the country to someone like Yogendra Yadav for 10 days and see what he makes of it. Ladies and people, they turned Jantar Mantar into a trash can. They are waiting to ruin the country. Listen to this. These people. Are any of these NEET aspirants? Audio, please. this is not Gen Z. This is the lowest of the low, ladies and gentlemen. This does not represent Gen Z. Indians do better, deserve better. Gen Z is also responsible for startups, for space startups, for the highest of academic achievements, for sporting performances. But if sections of the opposition want to use the lowest of the low, who won't even get 1 mark, not even 1 mark in a NEET paper, and probably would never even dream of sitting for NEET, then it is opportunistic and totally, utterly shameless. Is this a NEET aspirant, for example? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a reel maker who paints women's undergarments on his t-shirt and then goes around and makes reels. If people who are older think it is not cool to criticize them because they will feel left out, as they say, they're going to have FOMO by not standing with these people, I think one is stupid, one is foolish to allow these people to even dream of representing the students of this country. These are not students. These are not even hooligans. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the absolute dregs in terms of behavior, humanity. They embarrass us all. And I am thoroughly embarrassed that a section of this country got carried away when politicians used these people and put a layer over it and said, these are the students of India. These were never the students of India. Yes, the name of the students has been milked shamelessly. So at least now I would say to all of you, even if you've been misled, it's time to wake up.
The protest is over. People have gone back from Jantar Mantar, but the scale of the violence is only unraveling now. The videos show the extent of violence by the CJP goons. Brazen hooliganism caught on camera. Stones pelted. Breaking police barricades. These were not students. These were goons whose primary objective was to incite violence. From vulgar jokes to influencers mocking forces, all in the name of protest. They abused Prime Minister Modi.
पर ये माँ कसम को छोड़ के ना बहन के तड़ी पार मैं एंटी नेशनल नहीं हूँ.
They threatened the democracy of India, targeting the parliament and warning of a Nepal-like situation in India.
संसद भवन उखाड़ दिया जाएगा, संसद भवन उखाड़ दिया जाएगा और इस्तीफा नहीं मिला तो उखाड़ दिया जाएगा, सब उखाड़ दिया जाएगा, सब कर दिया जाएगा. नेपाल उखाड़ दिया जाएगा, नेपाल बनेगा.
Not just that, now they have completely trashed the area, leaving their filth in Jantar Mantar. And the worst part, after the protest, they partied with a DJ. This was their idea of justice for NEET students. The trashy CJP's filth has been exposed. The dirt they wanted to keep hidden is now out in open.
You know, they said it was a very serious matter. I want to start with Piyush Joshi. Suhail joins us. Adi Achint is the host of Deaf Talks, which is on YouTube. Shazia Elmi, Shyam Meka of the Congress, and Ajay Yadav. Piyush, the pictures of the students who committed suicide were thrown on the ground, and it had been said that this is a very serious matter, but after that there was a bit of an after party, you know. We have the visuals. was it in good taste? If this was about the students, was it in good taste to have this 5-star, 7-star after party, whoever may have sponsored it?
Arnab, thank you very much. The government is already engaging with the same people. The government is doing a joint press conference with the same people. The government is understanding that what they demanded was right. I'm not a CJP spokesperson. I'm an Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson.
I just want to ask you whether Mr. Ranka...
Yeah, I got your question.
No. My further question to you only is, and we must answer this. See, now we must start becoming absolutely transparent, right, Shazia? It has now been widely reported that Mr. Ranka out there, who is from the CJP, is actually a spokesperson and of the Aam Aadmi Party and an office bearer of the party in the Rajasthan unit. And we need a clarification on this. You need to clarify. If he is, no problem. But why was it not revealed earlier? Does this change the entire complexion of the CJP as an AAP subunit, right? Right, Sohail? I mean, if he is, it's AAP subunit, no problem.
Look, I'm not aware.
But you need to tell us. No, it has been said. He now says till 1 week before or 2 weeks before he was with the AAP. Now, when asked, when did you resign, he doesn't clarify. If this is an AAP subunit, Shazia and Sohail, please note, if this is an AAP subunit,
I mean,
we need to know.
What is the question?
The question is he with the AAP?
Well, I'm not aware whether he is with the AAP.
I'm not aware is not a good answer.
If he, I'll get back to you on that. I cannot provide you with the information.
No, but you can't now. You see, now the thing is, okay, now my 1 minute.
Arnab, first of all, I'd like to say, I mean, the filth that I saw just now, the vulgarity, the profanity, I'm so shocked. I wish I could unsee all that you showed and, on Republic. I wish I could unsee it. And I'm quite disgusted with all the visuals that you're showing. What has happened to these young men?
What has happened here, Piyush? Not these visuals, are the ones you showed.
You failed miserably at creating a good education system, so you should be ashamed, all right. Nothing wrong with being ashamed.
No, which part of the education system?
You could not prevent the NEET paper leak. You could not provide a good education system.
There was the
could not
I want to ask you, I'm just asking you, which part of the education system? 1 minute.
No, what is this to do with paper leak? No, don't change it. Just like you're using students, or the sub-parties using students, and using the sadness and tragedy for this vulgarity. You're using a tragedy. You're using the sadness and all the families have been through for this.
Because you have shut down 10...
Till yesterday evening, I was happy. I mean, Abhijit Dipke gives me the creeps, but I thought Saurabh and Ashutosh were really decent folks, and I really was indulgent, and I thought there is something nice to them. But,
Piyush Lada!
About what's going on there, it is just like...
Piyush, this must have...
I cannot believe it,
do you worry that...
I just cannot imagine...
1 minute. Do you worry, Piyush, that this may be hitting your credibility as well? Real videos that are now coming out may really hit your credibility very badly. I want to show you a video of the filth.
There are thousands
the language, and I want to ask you, do you approve? Do you approve of this language?
Constructive things. You have chosen to play
I have not shown. In fact, I'll show you the 5-minute video. Today, a very good thing happened. We got the entire 5-minute footage of what was happening there, and it is quite clear that there was total and absolute violence towards the security forces. I have seen pictures, by the way, in which there are some people who are not from the army, but who have been made to wear army uniform.
Security forces, that is not reprehensible, Arnab.
No.
The excessive force, they basically did not follow any norm of IPC.
Listen, audio, please. I want you to hear this. I want to play it down because derogatory references to our Prime Minister cannot be allowed. The point is that I say, are we not concerned about what happened? It seems to me like there are people who don't like the BJP, who don't like the fact that the opposition keeps losing elections, but that is their problem. To vent, Sohail, in the form of this kind of abuse, like this guy. I mean, these are not students. This is the filth. I was saying this, all the filth was coming out there, and there were people with an interest who came out there and provided the, what would you say, the covering fire to justify this kind of, these vandals. It's really unfortunate, Sohail, and it's unfortunate that so many people have been misled by this.
So I have 3 or 4 things to say. It is no one's contention that you don't protest. But protest doesn't mean spewing venom and vulgarity, because that is against the tenet of a decent protest. But then again, Arnab, it is up to these individuals and their parenting if they believe that that is the way to protest. That is not something that India will condone. I don't think their own parents will condone, and certainly society at large will not condone.
But Sohail, 1 minute, just may I pause you? May I pause you here for a moment? May I pause you here for a moment? What we've seen here, Sohail, is a very serious situation. You've seen an alcoholic, murderous, violent mob and, do whatever they have done and mislead the people of India into thinking this is a students' protest, right? Now we realize these are vandals, uncivilized, and real makers who went there.
Remember, they will lose the plot.
No.
Just like when you were a child then, when the Naxalite movement turned from ideology to violence, people left.
No, but now we're seeing some footage.
People are very smart. People
but now we are seeing the footage.
They
now
know
look
when
at this piece of footage.
Ideology and when you're fighting for traction.
But look at this piece of footage.
They know when you're fighting for Instagram followers or when you're fighting for a cause.
Told to us, 1 minute. Sohail, it was told to us that the students were peaceful. Watch this footage. Now, watch it carefully.
But not all of them were violent.
Watch it. No, 99% violence and filthy. Look at this. Who was breaking through? Who was attacking whom? See the pictures very clearly. The police is sitting there very calmly. Are you seeing that? See this. I'll describe it over the ambience, please. You will see the nature of the violence and the progression of the violence. You see the police appealing.
I don't want to.
No, lies will. No. Sohail, I will have to. This video has to be shown. Don't disturb me, Sohail. This video I will show. I need you to also wake up, because somewhere in privileged circles in this country, there is a feeling that these were students and they were right. You're seeing this. Audio up.
No, they were not.
सरकारी दफ्तरों में घुसकर प्रदर्शनकारियों ने तोड़फोड़ मचाना शुरू कर दिया.
Because you were not there, Sohail, and people like you were not there, you were probably misled into thinking this is some students' movement. Not your fault, but I'm showing the footage tonight so people realize.
I thought it to be a movement powered by the students.
It is not powered by the students, it is powered by political vandals. It is powered by political goons, Sohail. Sohail, it is powered by political goons. There are probably no, it's not. Now, am I? 1 minute, Sohail, 1 minute. Are we seeing the footage? Viewers, I'll show you the footage. Put the footage full frame. Let our panelists see it. See it for themselves.
ये देखिए कैसे भीड़ का एक हिस्सा पुलिस की गाड़ियों पर लात घूंसे और पत्थर मार रहे हैं.
Now see, even those inside the police are hurt. You'll see that next.
पीसीआर वैन में मौजूद पुलिस स्टाफ के होते हुए भी पुलिस वैन पर हमला किया गया. कई जगह आगजनी की घटनाएं भी देखने को मिली. इन प्रदर्शनकारियों के हाथों में पत्थर साफ देखा जा सकता है और इनका निशाना पुलिस फोर्सेस और सरकारी संपत्ति है.
पत्थर फेंक रहे हैं, पत्थर, पानी की बोतलें, जो हाथ में आ रहा है सब. चलो भाई पीछे. क्या मत देख, ये देखिए फिर से बम,
पत्थरबाजी चल रही है देखो, और ये पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा है. ये देख सकते हैं हाल ही में.
You know, this perverted mob, this Sohail, this is a perverted mob that you are seeing tonight. I can't even hear him.
Who have behaved like vandals and destroyed public property and harmed up
No, Sohail, Sohail, I'll tell you what, just 1 minute. The political parties and maybe vested interests through certain corporate groups, I'm beginning to suspect the involvement of some corporate groups, I will not say more, because only corporate groups have this kind of money. Maybe interested corporate groups have funded them. Maybe interested corporate groups that presently do not like this government have funded them. Maybe big corporate groups that are not getting what they want from this government have funded them. Maybe certain corporate group/group is funding certain political parties who in turn are outsourcing the money and passing it through corporate marketing agencies. Because there's a corporate hand behind this that is very obvious to all of us. There is a corporate hand because the organization is corporate. There are three major marketing companies, allow me to complete, that also work with certain corporate groups who have been popularizing the videos and spending the money. We'll find out whether any corporate group is behind this, Sohail Seth, because if there is any corporate group that is behind it, that will also be found. But my question is clearly this. It is an intermeshing. It is an attempt at misleading the people of this country. And in the moment, because the influencers and the corporate groups pumped a lot of money, the truth didn't come out, now it is.
Legitimate, the demands.
I want to know today. I want to know the corporate groups in this country who benefit from the resources of this country must one minute. The corporate groups of the country, all of them after all benefit from the population success, growth and resources of the country must take a position. They must take a position. The corporate groups which benefit from the resources of this country, every one of them must take a position on this vandalism and not be allowed to remain quiet about it.
Arnab, you are endorsing our view that the ED
along with any political parties who may have used this.
And IBs of this country are actually defunded.
I am sure the IBs of the country will find out everything.
That's what you are endorsing our view, no?
You've got a very muscular home minister who's been very tough. You've got a superb Delhi police force. You've got an intelligence bureau. You've got CID.
Don't ask an obvious question.
And plus you have Arnab Goswami.
One minute.
They couldn't find out who's done this.
Sohail, let me tell you one thing. 20 years back, you could pay the politicians and get anything done. I don't want to name any corporate groups, but there are groups who may have got their jobs done in many ways. Maybe they don't get an entry now. Secondly, the political parties are not getting a victory. Several of them
are not getting their
victory. They've been waiting in the wings for a long time, okay? My point is tonight, a moment of introspection for the people of this country. That 7,000 violent, riotous, perverse, perverted reel makers come together and claim to be 140 crore people.
Prime Minister
but the thing is, no, 1 minute.
The Prime Minister has praised.
I am very happy. Listen, Shyam and Ajay, I am very happy. I am only happy for one reason. I'm not trying anything. I'm showing the videos. I have popular support on my side. There are more nationalists in this country than people who are opportunists. It's not even nationalists versus anti-nationals. I would say it is nationalists versus opportunists. And I want all political parties and corporate groups to tell us whether they are nationalists. And if any corporate group or political party has had involvement in this, I hope they learn their lessons. I hope they are exposed. I hope their names are out. And I hope it becomes very clear. Let that be told to everyone tonight. You think the anger of the people in this country is any less? But they almost thought they could get away with it. Now, Shyam, Ajay. Now it's clear they gave it their best shot, Ajay. They had a lot of money. That's why I'm saying corporate groups. They had a lot of political support because the political gundas were there. They had the transgender, tukre, Maoist group, everyone. They had support from Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg has come out in open support. They had foreign influencers. They had the CIA. You had the US Embassy informing in advance about what's going to happen. These are not conspiracy theories. And yet they lost. Remember this, Sohail. Everybody comes together and yet they lost. Now they will hope, we'll try again. But I tell you, nobody is going to let this happen again. Ajay, everything came together and they lost. What are the lessons of this? And now, Republic has exposed all of this. You can't even deny these pictures. They are not AI generated. What are the lessons, Ajay?
So why did Delhi police not release these
Delhi police and everyone, do you think the Delhi police will remain quiet, Suhail? Do you think there isn't enough face recognition technology? You wait 1 week, no? You wait 1 week. You wait 1 week, Suhail. Already there are people who are crying, saying, please save us. We were misled. We were given money to make reels. We are not going to do this again. Do you think the Delhi police, the special branch, the security forces will sit down and do nothing about it? What makes you think so?
But they've already issued a...
well, no, that's what you think. They have not said anything. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't know. They have not said anything. They have said, the CJP leadership said, because they are cowards, that don't file cases against us. To which the government said, to those who have not done violence, we won't file. But now all this face recognition is out, no? Everything is going to be out. Ejia, what are the lessons here?
Arnab, first of all, let me tell you that it began as a student protest, and what the students wanted was accountability, transparency, merit. They wanted merit-based examination, and therefore they started a 39-day protest. With the resignation of the minister, the protest ended. Now you are saying that there were hooligans in the party CJP. Well, CJP
I'm
is
not saying,
a part of
are you not seeing
India,
the same
right?
videos that I'm showing?
We all believe in constitution. No, 1 minute, Arnab. Okay, 1 minute, Arnab. Let me complete before I forget my points.
Don't forget, please.
You say that there are reels, there are violent reels and whatnot. Okay, in every party there are people who may be a little violent. Even in BJP that you're always praising, there are so many ministers with criminal charges. Still they hold the portfolios. They are also anti-nationals.
Ejia, you're not getting the point. You see, Ejia.
Anyway,
Ejia, what do you say?
Arnab, please.
Okay, let Ejia complete.
One more thing, Arnab. One more. Arnab, please, before I forget my points. You have shown many reels. Arnab, you showed many reels, but you forgot to show one reel.
Like that. You have to look at that.
Arnab, please.
These are our children, you know. We have to be very worried about this.
Why don't you want the opposition to be heard?
1 minute. I think that it is...
Why don't you want the opposition to be heard?
Ejia, I want you to be heard. I believe that all corporate groups should understand what foreign countries do. And I would like to request all corporate groups, you decide whether you're with America or with India. If you want to beat America at this time of a global crisis, any corporate group, all of them. All corporate groups must decide whether they are with America or India.
I do not know which
I am saying all corporate groups, all people with money should realize whether they want to be with India or America.
Arnab, just give me 10 seconds. There's something important I want to tell you.
Ambani and Adani's groups also?
No, I'm saying everybody. All corporate groups must take a position against violence. All corporate groups must issue statements against the violence. They must be made to issue statements against the violence. They must be made to issue statements against the violence.
Okay, Arnab.
The people of the country are with me. They must be made to issue statements against the violence. They must be made to make a statement against foreign intervention. Yes, Piyush, what is wrong in what I'm saying?
Okay. UN intervened.
Nothing is wrong. Everybody should be against violence. Everybody should be against violence, and any kind of violence is reprehensible. But do the easy job. What is the easy job? Build great universities.
No, don't give me theoretical stuff. Yaar, aaj mood mein main nahi hu. Theoretical stuff sunne ke liye.
Will not happen. Get these guys a great education.
No, don't give me. Okay, so tell me one thing. Tell me, Shyam.
This government will refrain from doing the easy job.
Shyam.
Cherry picks.
Okay, 1 minute. I'm asking you a question, Piyush Nisha. I want to know what scholarship and what funding, it's a question Abhijit Dipke got to afford the multi-crore education in Boston, United States of America. Shyam?
Is that a question to me?
Yes. Is it not a good question?
It's appalling. Why are you asking me?
Why are you not asking the question?
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say nothing.
Your point
I'm just asking about the background of the people who are public personalities today. Who funds their education in Boston, United States of America? How many of them have worked with groups that have worked with Open Society of Soros? Who was in Norway? Which one of these people was in Norway funded by a group attending an event which is funded by Soros? Why should I not ask the question?
Why should you ask me the question?
No, because now my questions are making people so uneasy. My questions make people so uneasy.
Ask the question to Amit
Why
Shah.
are you all mumbling today, fumbling? You are jumping. No, Parliament will be ravaged. Parliament was not ravaged. The violence was averted. Nationalists have come together. We've understood exactly what was going on. And you can ask Adi Achint, who's understands very clearly what's going on because he's on digital. And one must not presume. Adi, I think you need to give a sense of the mood on the digital medium also, where you are so popular.
Sir, I thank you so much and good evening to everybody and thank you for giving me the opportunity. There are a couple of things I want to bring about. One, if everybody's read the US Embassy notification, I'm sure everybody did, right? There was one word in that which was very curious. That's called motorcycles. How did the US Embassy know that on the 21st, there were motorcycles coming towards Delhi? That's a main question. How did they know? Why is Greta Thunberg so interested in our students? And, you know, as when I say student, there is something that we need to also look at. What's happened to these people? By the way, on the criminal elements part of it, the Delhi police has put out a number, 2,873 criminal elements have already been identified. And today the CJP says if you don't release them, then we will be forced to protest again. So this is the reality today. But the moot point here is, are we losing a generation because of COVID? Have we made our generation so insensitive to reality? And there's a good old saying I'd like to quote, and I apologize, but there's a good old saying that Mike Tyson had said, social media has made you all way too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face for it. And I don't advocate violence, this is just a quote, but the reality is that you can pretty much say anything on social media, and if there is a pullback, all you need to do is block that person and get away from it. So the insensitivity that we see is not anything else but a serious issue. And I don't see anybody talking about this. There needs to be therapy. There needs to be understanding within schools, colleges, that this is the reality on the ground. Why are we so insensitive to other people? Do we really think that we can say anything on social media and walk away because we are sitting in our cozy rooms or wherever we are? And what we saw is a display of that insensitivity right there, right up to the violence, and below that where abuses and all sorts of things were said. Why is the UN so interested in what is happening here? Why is the fact, and I still haven't found a very serious answer on the fact that why is the US Embassy mentioning motorcycles? How the hell do they know that there are motorcycles coming towards Delhi?
Yeah, Ajay, could you probably explain that? How did the US Embassy know about something? Do these questions occur to you? Or have you reached a point where you say, obviously, these are very important questions, but we will not ask? Because it is something that is useful to us. Even if the country is torn apart, burnt apart, doesn't matter.
Arnab, before I answer this question, let me say you are constantly talking about Abhijit Deepke. Studied from Boston, studied from here. He took a student loan after completing journalism in Pune and then went to Boston. So of course there was the student loan. Of course you are not speaking about the student loan. Secondly, you talk about UN intervention. When the TV
UN intervention was not something I referred to. However, I will tell you what I referred to. No, I'll tell you what I referred to. One minute. Ajay, let me tell you, there is a person called... 1 minute. There is a... No, 1 minute. Ajay, listen. There is a police officer, a very, very brave police officer called ACP Bhagat.
In Siwan.
1 minute, please.
Arnab, 1 minute. Why don't you tell about
ACP
the
Bhagat, I want to take the pictures full frame and I will show you the pictures of ACP Bhagat. ACP Bhagat, who you see there in those pictures there, is the man who caught 8 Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists in February. in connection with the bomb blast in Delhi. Now, if you are with the people who are killing or trying to lynch such bravehearts, then I think you're not just on the wrong side, but you're creating a precedent where the heroes of this country are being beaten by lumpens and perverts, where the bravest of people with gallantry awards are being beaten and lynched by perverts. And Ajia, do not avoid this question. Do not avoid this question. These are bravehearts. You're trying to create an anti-uniform, anti-security forces mindset. It may benefit you right now, but today, what is being done in this country is this, Ajia, that we must be allowed to beat security forces.
Okay.
And if you file an FIR against us, we will burn Parliament. Now, that is not a logic which is going to sustain anymore.
Okay. Okay, Arnab, let us also speak.
No, why don't
you showed so many videos,
yes,
so many reels. Why didn't you show that of Siwan, where a Bihar police constable was the video went viral holding an AK-47 and firing at a
No,
student.
He did not. Now that's where the dangerous part is. Ejia, may I come in? Ejia, may I come in immediately? May I come in immediately? May I come in immediately? I want to comment on that. I want to comment on that, and I want to tell you something about it. But obviously you will not want to hear me, because I will tell you what happened in Siwan. I will tell you what happened in Siwan, which is exactly what I am very concerned and what I am very worried about in this country today. 1 minute, Shazia, please don't interrupt any of you. I'm saying something to you. Ejia, have the courage to listen. Have the courage to listen. I'll have the courage to listen. Now, I'll tell you there is a major factual discrepancy in what you've said. Ejia, will you finish?
Of course, if there are hooligans, if there has been violence by CGPA, of course, matter will be looked into. Amit Shah is the head of the
rule of law
Home Ministry.
Of
course, he can order people
law will
to
prevail.
the matter.
We'll go back to the constitution and rule of law. And I think anybody, you believe in rule of law, right? I'm sure you do, right? So rule of law will prevail. There cannot be two rules and two laws.
But we are also not to defend.
So it's important that there has to be accountability. And if CJP members are not involved, they need not worry about this. They need not worry, right? CJP says categorically that our members were not involved. So obviously, and whatever promise has been made by the government is for innocent students, not for hoodlums, not for criminals, not for history cheaters, not at all. So obviously, it's something to do. And so obviously, CJP will not be worried. And in fact, CJP should encourage this, because then the whole world will know it wasn't their people. No. I think it's very important that in fact CJP should ask for it.
I'd say one thing. I repeat it. People are saying, Arnab, why are you mentioning corporate groups? Because for a simple reason. Sohail, 1 minute, please. Why are you getting so concerned that I mentioned corporate groups? Do you think they will be allowed to not have any national responsibility?
They are not running India.
Yeah, 1 minute. They must then not interfere in the running of India either.
They do not.
They must not interfere in the running of India either, Sohail.
Exactly.
No corporate group must interfere in the running of India. I am saying it again. No corporate group can be allowed to interfere in the running of India either, or must assume or presume that it can interfere in the running of India.
I am talking
and I am talking today, and I will not be interrupted on this, because when nationalism comes to the core, it is the responsibility of all these corporate groups never to think that they are beyond, that they are more important than the people of India. And now I'm saying this, every political party and every corporate group must vow allegiance to nationalism and to nation first, and must always show their allegiance to Bharat before their allegiance to any foreign country. Any country, any corporate group. You may say I'm the greatest multinational, but in India, you work for India. And that is, no, Sohail. No, Sohail, I'll tell you this. No, Sohail, I'll tell you this. People of this country are watching, Sohail. People of this country are watching everything. You don't need a deep state to understand what's going on. But Are Bhai nahi hai, it is a very clear matter going on right now. There are people in this country, and Adi will tell you, Sohail, who are wearing costumes of army personnel and trying to spread disaffection in the Indian army. Adi, would you say this? And they are putting these reels out to divide and break the country. But you know what? It's going to have the opposite effect. Adi, can you tell Sohail and everyone about what's been going on in that front? Because you have a forces background.
Yeah, we've seen that. Apart from that, we've seen uniformed police officers being called there. One chap just walks in from Uttarakhand and he says, you know, I quit because of this. And then later on, he plucks off his stars and everything like that. And we later on realize he was suspended. See, the point here is that this has to be some credibility. You need to have some red line somewhere.
Exactly. So here's my...
No, there are enough people in this country. There are enough people in this country who make money in India, move to Dubai and think they will watch from the sidelines.
At the altar of deceit.
No, now the truth is out, Sohail. Now the truth, real narrative is coming out.
We don't have to go very far. They will lose their credibility. All I'm saying is there are two things here. One minute. The CJP does not represent every Indian student, and they must
No, they don't represent anyone. But
check.
No. The mood on the ground is very different.
The law of the land is bigger than Arnab, CJP, corporations, Shazia, everyone else.
Sohail, facial recognition has been used. There are people with criminal backgrounds. They will be caught. The background trails will be found out. Who was funding the influencers, which corporate groups were involved or not involved, will all come out.
We agree. Criminality must be punished. But the right to protest cannot be taken away.
The truth will now begin to come out.
The right to protest doesn't mean the right to violence. It doesn't mean the right to mobocracy. That we are all on the same page.
Correct. Sohail.
We are all on the same page.
Shazia.
Might I, if I may, might I recommend that all of us sitting here and Mr. Sohail, with all respect to you, sir, if there is a message sent to the CJP people that today they've done a press conference saying if these people are not released by tomorrow, we are going to sit back on the protest. Can they themselves create a distinction, which they did on the day of the press conference where the alleged agreement happened with the government, that these people, there have been anti-social elements that have infiltrated this particular protest. These are not my words. These are words of Saurabh Das.
No, so what do you want us to say? What do you want us to say?
So obviously, he has a very good point. If these folks who are indulging in criminality are not members of CJP, then CJP should not have any issue with it, right? They should not have any problems with FIRs against criminals and charge sheeters, obviously. And there's one more thing I want to add to this. Greta Thunberg was there yesterday in London. I mean, my friends, 3 of them, and they have young kids, and they were telling me teenagers. And, they all went there, and, India was just being trashed. Horrible things were being said. It was organized by SFI, UK. I don't know where SFI in India is when it comes to electoral representation. But, the ugliest things were being said about India. My blood was boiling because they were doing a FaceTime video.
No,
and
the thing
kind
is,
of things that are being said in London.
Sohail, I'll tell you, I want to say something to you. Sometimes some people make the mistake of thinking they are too important. And they think we will come together and we will organize and fund a regime change operation. But remember, when you want to carry out a coup, and mark my words, Sohail and Adi and Shazia, remember in history what happens to the people who carry out a failed coup attempt. This was a regime change operation. This was a regime change operation that some people tried. I suspect who the people are. I'm not speaking today. I suspect who the people behind the coup attempt are. I suspect who the people behind the regime change are. अरे एग्जाम हो चुकी है, आपने कराई क्या रीनीट? रीनीट आपने कराई कि सरकार ने कराई? ज़्यादा मत बोलिए. पहले आप अलग पढ़ने को बोलिए कि अपनी वैल्यूएशन कम हो जाए मगर अपने फीस कम कर ले. बोलिए उसको. Yeah, and let me tell you, stop trying to threaten the media. Who the hell is scared of you, man? Stop trying to threaten the media. Stop trying to threaten. सच्चाई दिखा दी है. भारत के लोग रिपब्लिक के साथ है, आपके साथ नहीं है. Should I open the lines? You realize we know who tried to carry out a coup attempt. We know who tried to carry out regime change. But remember, when people fail in the regime change, fail in the coup attempt, what happens to them? Now be afraid. Be very afraid.
This was an accountability protest. That someone should be accountable for the mess in this country.
Well. You got another thing coming.
Paper leaks after paper leaks after paper leaks. With no one held accountable. That's not right.
Regime changes failed. Regime changes failed. Regime changes failed.
और जो एविडेंस आपके पास में होम मिनिस्टर तो दो ना कुछ करेंगे उसके ऊपर, वो तो इनकॉम्पिटेंट है, हम तो जानते हैं, पर आप तो तारीफ करते हो ना उनकी, तो उनको ले जाके दे दीजिए एविडेंस जो आपके पास में।
Coup attempt has failed.
Which coup? Where is the
political coup?
Where is the coup?
Attempt at creating a political coup, doing gundagirdi and Jantar Mantar has failed.
20th of March, this was a non-violent protest.
Non-violent protest. अभी तो मैंने दिखा दिया कितना non-violent.
Majority of the cities in this country, it was a non-violent
ये
protest.
non-violent
Where is the coup? Don't debate it.
Regime change attempt has failed.
20th of March.
Regime change attempt has failed. Now see what happens to those who are behind it. Watch the space. Watch the space very
carefully. This was not a coup. This was not a regime change operation.
Watch the space very carefully. Now you'll explain it. We were not trying to do a regime change. Okay. You can say that.
Someone should be accountable. Simple.
It is called...
Yeah, but we
it's called lumpenism, and I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you, we will not use American words like Gen Z. This is lumpenism. That's right. Absolutely right, Adi. This is lumpenism. This is perversion.
And there's such wonderful, representatives of Gen Z. There's such fabulous youngsters out there who have so much to do and achieve. And all, good luck.
On the other side tonight, I'll tell you how Greta Thunberg has come out. Greta Thunberg has taken ownership of this. Remember Greta Thunberg, Tukde gang, Khalistanis? Yes, she's back. And she's pretty much saying, I was behind this. When we are back.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।